Hey everybody, it is Sunday afternoon, a nice, lazy, relaxing Sunday. You can see I'm in my pajamas, as I hope you guys are too. A nice way to end the weekend, though I've still got a whole afternoon, and honestly I was working really hard on business museum stuff earlier today. So it's nice to take a break, and hopefully, probably, unless the doorbell rings while we're recording, finish off this dang pile of stuff that's been mailed to us. We've been trying to work through this pile for the last 3 unboxing videos. But to start things off, I've got a nice new tradition here, trying out a brand new mead. And I actually have another new one, Pumpkin Amok, which is kind of an outdated one, and like one that seems to be that's not what I'm trying today. We'll try that one another time. This one is the one that I'm trying. I just opened it up. I can already smell it. This one is called Pam, Beasley, and Jim, described as raspberry mead aged in roasted peanuts. I have been advertised this one, and I say advertised because literally I'm in there trying to decide what mead I want, and some random guy comes up to me and says, "You should try that one." And I say, "Why is that?" And he said, "It tastes like peanut butter and jelly." And I realized Pam, Beasley, and Jim, PB&J. Get it? So that has been told to me. It tastes like peanut butter and jelly, like every time someone's talked to me about this, and I'm already smelling it. It smells like PB&J, so I love PB&J. Like I have to be gluten-free, so it's a rare delicacy for me to get peanut butter and jelly, and I'm really excited to try this out. Again, this is Grimsby Hollow Meadery in Middleville, Michigan, but you can order their stuff online if you're distant, so check it. We're going to try that out before we do some unboxing with it. Awesome people, too, by the way. Just all around support them, especially if you get your stimulus checks. You're supposed to be buying from local businesses, so might as well get some mead out of it, too. Cheers, if you're drinking along, too, in the middle of the afternoon on Sunday. But we'll give it a shot. Oh, yeah. Oh my god, that is literally a well-made peanut butter and jelly. Like, they're kind of like you'd get from a fancy restaurant. Or like when your parents, as you were kids, splurged on like good bread and good jam. Oh my god. It's like they put a sandwich in mead. That is awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. Again, that was Pam, Beasley, and Jim flavored mead from Grimsby Hollow Meadery. Let us continue to the unboxing. Man, that's good. I'm going to drink more of that. That's good. So we have the 4 remaining packages. This one, which I know what it is, and I'm excited to unbox it. We'll let that sit. I'm sure this is a postcard, which I like. I ordered a few of them. I'm excited to see which one it is. This one I'm pretty certain is a modern replica or reprint of an antique book, or it could be this one, and I'm not sure which one it is. So we're going to open one of these first. I'm going to open this heavier one because it's a heavy boy. So we'll see. This is from Book Outpost from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Got our trusty Niagara Falls knife made from Sheffield, England. Niagara Falls, Canada, to clarify. This is a big book. It's definitely a modern book. I saw a barcode on there. What have I bought? Yes, this is what I thought it was. Reprint of the American Anglers book. In case you saw yesterday's unboxing, this is a different American middle of the 19th century fishing manual from the one I got earlier. This one's actually been reprinted and all that fun stuff. It's fancy rather than just a print of a scan of the book. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is so cool. Ah, I love it. What year is this from? I think this was 1870s. I'm trying to find the year here. 1864, first published. All right, it's another Civil War era appropriate book. Boom. These are big. Oh my god, I've only ever seen these digital, like on Google Books, so I don't get a physical feel for how thick they are. Holy crap. I'm going to try to work my way through both these manuals, but criminy. Oh my god. I love this gent on the front, though. I love it. So dapper. So classy. Sweet. Let's move on. Let us open the postcard. I'm going to save that big long one for last. I don't know how... This one's from Mantua, Ohio. It's so funny, the different varieties of packaging that postcard shippers send it in. I have had postcards shipped to me inside, like, thank you cards. Like, not that they're thanking me, but, like, happy birthday cards. You know, that they're just using to keep the postcard straight and flat. So, I'm excited. Oh, yeah! I love this. I love this so much. State Fishery, Grand Rapids, Michigan. This is actually in Comstock Park, Michigan, right now in Dwight Liddell Park, which recently got redone. They removed all the fishing ponds after 100 years of being a fish hatchery. They removed it, and it's going back to a natural state, which I think is cool, you know, good for nature, but also this has been a fish hatchery for 100 years. You might as well keep some of that aspect in there, too. In any case, now a lost fish hatchery that Livy and I have fished in ourselves, having a blast. And so I love having this history right here in our hands. And it looks like this is from 1946, which is actually not very old. Dear Rose, I received your card and do hope you have a nice time there. It sure warm here now. Alta Stevenson. To Rose Mantell in New Hampshire. So I wonder if, you know, they don't have return addresses on this, but I wonder if Alta is from here in Grand Rapids and her pen pal, Rose, is in New Hampshire. Huh, very cool. Anyway, I love these. I love the photo of old Grand Rapids and old fishing. 2-in-1. Let us open this other book. I have no idea if it's modern. That was all the modern books I thought I purchased, but I love books, so I may have gotten more. Let's see. What else we have here? I hope it's an antique. It is an antique. I know what this one is. Oh, dang. If any of my students are watching right now, you guys are going to be so happy. So happy about this one right here. This is a rarity nowadays. It's actually a swordsmanship thing, not a fishing thing. So cool. Rarity because I have so freaking much sword stuff. I rarely need to add anything to it at this point, short of like a good $600-700, you know, antique rarity. This doesn't look that old, right? Doesn't look that old. That's because this is a copy, and I'm not sure when it's published. Let's find out. Oh, 1979. Okay, whatever. A reprint of the 1942 version of Get Tough, How to Win in Hand-to-Hand Fighting, used by World War II soldiers. We have had so many... I try to open to a random page and I get that. I love it. Oh, God. We have had so many conversations lately about... man, look at this. It's so visualized. There's so much going on. We've had so much conversations about World War II historical, you know, swordsmanship or hand-to-hand combat practice, like classes on that kind of stuff. And this would basically be what we'd be learning from. Though I was hoping to incorporate more... What the hell? I can't wait to read what the hell this is all about. But we've been talking about incorporating World War II hand-to-hand combat for like ever, and this would be one of the many books. I was hoping this would have more knife fighting in it. I didn't really see any. Oh, there's some. There's some right there. So we'll get that. So we are. This will be sometime in the future. The Swordsmanship Museum and Academy, World War II, and I personally want World War I. I've got some World War I bayonet combat manuals in the collection. So we'll probably get some World War I swordsmanship classes eventually. So neat, very cool edition. Obviously, it's not an artifact. I guess I should treat this as just a modern print, 1979. I mean, that's 27 years old, or 47 years old. I don't know. Anyway, very cool. Still be learning from this. I was hoping it was an original, but I don't think it is. And this last one right here, you guys, I am happy to add this. This is a rare thing where I'm adding a fairly large item to the Fishing Museum collection. I mean, lately, you've been seeing the videos. This has been, like, fish hooks and bobbers or floats, you know, and stuff like that, little things. But this is a large item, relatively, that I am happy to have because it's the first one that I've had in the collection. It might not be that old, it might not have that much provenance, but this right here is a box for holding your fly fishing rod, complete with a little fly organizer here and probably a spot for extra line. Very happy about this. This is very cool. It looks homemade. I mean, look at this. It just... Oh, there's words on it. What does it say? D and H and E Kartowitz. Daphne Kartowitz? Oh, that's cool. It has a name on there. I wonder if I could use that to discover the year. It's probably not that old. You guys can kind of see it's kind of scratched in there very roughly. But I love this. This is also, personally, I love the history of woodworking. Obviously using thin pieces of wood like this held together and to care for something that was another thing. I mean, I love this. This item in and of itself is very cool, and I love it. I love the history of woodworking, joinery specifically, which is what they would have used for this. This latch looks fairly modern, so I don't know how old or not old it is, but very excited to have. This is the first one in my collection. Plus, to have a custom-made one might not be valuable, which is something that is frustrating me both in the swordsmanship or antique sword collecting community and antique fishing collecting community, where everyone has to put a dollar value on this stuff. And the only way to do that would be to have a well-documented something, which it frustrates me. It frustrates me. It's all part of human history, and we're not using it for money. But to have something custom made like this, which looks to be private made, honestly, is really special. It's really something special. Someone put time and effort and love into this, and for us to be its caretakers, very cool. Very cool, if you ask me. So, in any case, I love this, and I love you guys. You're all fantastic. You're all amazing. Keep up your knowledge. Keep up your skills. Be healthy and safe. Enjoy the free time that you have, and like the Swordsmanship Museum and Academy on Facebook, like the Fishing Museum and Cultural Center on Facebook, like my YouTube channel, Poor Historian, on YouTube, and like and buy from Grimsby Hollow Meadery in Middleville, Michigan. Other than that, you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.